Hey guys, welcome back to the Danger Planet. Today, we're going over our first session recap for the Malifaux Narrative League. Hey y'all, welcome back to the planet. Today, we are super excited to recap the first session of the Malifaux Narrative League. We had so many games reported, it's ridiculous. We're super pumped, not only here at the Danger Planet, but also Mr. Dice himself at Defective Dice, at the community's response to this super awesome project, and I cannot wait to share some of the coolest results with you. We had dozens of games reported from Captain Con, and so many more reported outside of Captain Con from just people who have listened to our videos, and I personally cannot say how much that means to me, and I know that everybody else at the Danger Crew and Defective Dice are so unbelievably excited. But without further ado, let's take things over to the results. So, where we last left off, each of the factions had managed to claw just a single stronghold apart for themselves in the vast stretches of Malifaux City. And this time, two of the factions have clearly risen to the cream of the crop and will be claiming an additional territory each. That's going to be the Arcanist faction and the Bayou faction for claiming 22% and 18% of the total league points earned this session. And the Bayou weren't too far ahead. The Resurrectionists were really close behind at 16%, and a little bit further down the path this session were the Neverborn Explorers, who are at 10%, and the Ten Thunders, Outcasts, and Guild, who are each at 8%. So what does Malifaux City look like now? Well, at this point, the Arcanists have managed to gain a second territory in the Neverborn Containment Zone, the southern one that's right next to their starting location, the Industrial Zone. And the Bayou have managed to take over the Sink. And if you want to see your favorite faction claim some more territory so that they can get a better foothold in Malifaux City, all you gotta do is play some games with the scheme pool that we give you, and make sure that you fill out the reporting form so that way we can track your progress. Now, one of the things that you're going to want to make sure you pay attention to on the league reporting form is the spot where we ask you if you've completed any achievements. Now, each master in the game has a special achievement that you can get during the game, which might take some planning, and some of them are a little bit more difficult to achieve than the others. But for this first session, I wanted to give a special shout out to the people who were the first to complete the achievements. So that special honor goes out to Alexander Kucharenko, Ambrose Ingram, Kaith, Damian Smith, Jesse Chasson, Jiraj P, Keith D, Feltrees, Pookie's dad, Poxo, Rich Butler, The Saganite, Turtle Club 13, and Victor Semenovsky. Each of these people were literally one of the first people to achieve any achievement in the league and report it to us. And we even had two separate games that had both players get an achievement, and that was when Ambrose Ingram played Jesse Chasson and Damian Smith played Turtle Club 13. And getting both players getting an achievement in the same game is just completely wild. So make sure you're reporting your achievements. And if you're looking to see what all of the achievements that you can get are, in a breakdown by faction and master, you just got to check out the Discords on either our channel, the Danger Planet link below, or over on Defective Dice's channel. Either way, it should be in the Malifaux Narrative League section. As we report them, I can't promise that I'm going to give a shout out to every single person who is the first to achieve an achievement, but I'm going to do my best, and we'll give you a heads up as to which achievements are the longest outstanding as the league continues along. And the last bit of data that I wanted to bring to everyone's attention from Session 1 is the part on the form where we ask you if you had any notable shoutouts that you wanted to tell us about. And there were a bunch of responses to this, and I'm only going to get to say a few, but a couple of my favorites were Keith D and Durz's game, where Durz's Rooster Rider reduced itself to 1 HP and +4 injured, killing Uller in his own pit trap, only to get eaten by a Malisaurus Rex as it lashing tendrils the Rooster Rider into a pit trap to kill it, delivered a message to Mawtucket, and then attacked and killed a Bushwhacker with the Rampage trigger on a single activation, all on turn 3. Now, what a Malisaurus. I love that model, it's wild, and I can't imagine that Keith doesn't agree with me at this point. We have some other news from the Bayou, where unfortunately a very poor Bo Fishbacher got completely crongled by McMorning1, who took Bo Fishbacher out in a single blow with a crit strike trigger after flipping the red joker on a negative twist for 7 damage that ignored armor. We have some pretty crazy reports of a Ten Thunders Arcanist matchup between El Greco and Alcason, where Asami 2 as a second master one-rounded an uninjured metal golem. Kudra charged into Bill and put a 4 poison on him, which killed him. A combination of other poison stuff and a Gaiman managed to poison out Yoko completely to death. And at the end of that game, the only 10 Thunders models that were standing were Asami Tanaka, the second master, and Chiyo Hamasaki. We have a couple of reports from Alex Maxwell, who's one of our local New England players, who had a Rex get destroyed on turn 1 due to what sounds like a Black Joker defense flip over an attack that flipped a 4 to hit. We have a report where he drew 11 cards in a single turn due to runaways. We have another awesome report where a Hinamatsu, who is at 1 health, was saved after being surrounded by 4 enemies by a clutch "I've got your back" from the Emperor, or Dakota the Emperor. Keith D reports that a Fast Beam and Calypso were able to deliver a message to Castor and then reach a blood vessel that was almost 30 inches away and push it off of a stash marker with a Massive Tentacles trigger. We had another game reported from Alcason where both Harada and a Mechanical Rider were unfortunately lost forever in the Mysterious Emissaries terrain. We had a super sweet Reva Karis Fire Off that I reported from Captain Con, where I was playing Jacob from the Boring Conversation podcast, which was a lot of fun, but almost everything was on fire, almost everything died, at least on my half of the field, and there were like 40 fire markers in play by the end of the game, which was nuts. But I think the most wild thing that we've heard was a game between Ambrose Ingram and Jesse Chasson, where Mordrake buried Tull 3 times. Wild. Thank you so much, guys, for reporting all of these awesome moments. Please keep doing it. They were a lot of fun to read through, and I'm definitely going to make sure that I compile and post them at some point in the near future. And last but not least, folks, we have the scheme pool for the next session. Session 2 is going to start off on Monday, February 13th, and it's going to wrap up on Sunday, February 26th. The scheme pool for this session is going to be corner deployment with cursed objects as the strategy, and the schemes will be catch and release, research mission, hidden martyrs, take prisoner, and let them bleed. And if you open up your app, in the top right hand corner of the games tab, you will see 4 little squares. If you click on those, you can go ahead and scan this QR code, and it will automatically import the scenario for you so that you can create a local or a network game. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching and being a part of this super awesome, exciting adventure that we're doing in the form of this Malifaux Narrative League. Keep an eye here for any sort of updates. Definitely check out the Discord for us and Defective Dice. And keep an eye later on in the week where Defective Dice gives his take on the lore and what has happened in the first session as far as the main players of this campaign are concerned. Thanks so much for watching, and can't wait to catch you back here on the planet.